Book 16, Witr Prayer. Narrated Ibn Umar. Once a person asked Allah's Apostle about the night prayer. Allah's Apostle replied, "The night prayer is offered as 2 rakat followed by 2 rakat and so on, and if anyone is afraid of the approaching dawn, Fajr prayer, he should pray 1 rak'ah and this will be a witr for all the rakat which he has prayed before." Nafi told that Abdullah bin Umar used to say taslim between the first 2 rakat and the third, odd one in the Witr prayer, when he wanted to attend to a certain matter, during that interval between the rakat. Narrated Ibn Abbas, once I passed the night in the house of Maimuna, his aunt. I slept across the bed while Allah's Apostle and his wife slept lengthwise. The Prophet slept till midnight or nearly so and woke up rubbing his face and recited 10 verses from Surat Al-Imran. Allah's Apostle went towards a leather skin and performed ablution in the most perfect way and then stood for the prayer. I did the same and stood beside him. The Prophet put his right hand on my head, twisted my ear and then prayed 2 rakat 5 times and then ended his prayer with witr. He laid down till the mueddin came, then he stood up and offered 2 rakat, Sunnah of Fajr prayer, and then went out and offered the Fajr prayer. See Hadith number 183. Volume 1. Narrated Abdullah bin Umar, the Prophet said, "Night prayer is offered as 2 rakat followed by 2 rakat and so on, and if you want to finish it, pray only 1 rak'ah which will be witr for all the previous rakat." Al-Qasim said, "Since we attain the age of puberty we have seen some people offering a 3 rakat prayer as witr and all that is permissible. I hope there will be no harm in it." Narrated Aisha, Allah's Apostle used to pray 11 rakat at night and that was his night prayer, and each of his prostrations lasted for a period enough for one of you to recite 50 verses before Allah's Apostle raised his head. He also used to pray 2 rakat, Sunnah, before the compulsory Fajr prayer and then lie down on his right side till the mueddin came to him for the prayer. Narrated Anas bin Sirin, I asked Ibn Umar, "What is your opinion about the 2 rakat before the Fajr compulsory prayer, as to prolonging the recitation in them?" He said, "The Prophet, Pbuh, used to pray at night 2 rakat followed by 2 and so on, and end the prayer by 1 rak'ah witr. He used to offer 2 rakat before the Fajr prayer immediately after the adhan." Hamid, the sub-narrator said, "That meant that he prayed quickly." Narrated Aisha, Allah's Apostle offered witr prayer at different nights at various hours extending from the Isha prayer up to the last hour of the night. Narrated Aisha, the Prophet, Pbuh, used to offer his night prayer while I was sleeping across in his bed. Whenever he intended to offer the witr prayer, he used to wake me up and I would offer the witr prayer too. Narrated Abdullah bin Umar, the Prophet, Pbuh, said, "Make us your last prayer at night." Narrated Said bin Yaz'a, I was going to Mecca in the company of Abdullah bin Umar, and when I apprehended the approaching dawn, I dismounted and offered the witr prayer and then joined him. Abdullah bin Umar said, "Where have you been?" I replied, "I apprehended the approaching dawn so I dismounted and prayed the witr prayer." Abdullah said, "Isn't it sufficient for you to follow the good example of Allah's Apostle?" I replied, "Yes, by Allah." He said, Allah's Apostle used to pray witr on the back of the camel, while on a journey. Narrated Ibn Umar, the Prophet used to offer nawafil prayers on his raha, mount, facing its direction by signals, but not the compulsory prayer. He also used to pray witr on his mount, raha. Narrated Muhammad bin Sirin, Anas was asked, "Did the Prophet recite Qunut in the Fajr prayer?" Anas replied in the affirmative. He was further asked, "Did he recite Qunut before bowing?" Anas replied, "He recited Qunut after bowing for some time, for 1 month." Narrated Isma, I asked Anas bin Malik about the Qunut. Anas replied, "Definitely it was recited." I asked, "Before bowing or after it?" Anas replied, "Before bowing." I added, "So and so has told me that you had informed him that it had been after bowing." Anas said, "He told an untruth, that is was mistaken, AC according to the Hijazi dialect." Allah's Apostle recited Qunut after bowing for a period of 1 month. Anas added, "The Prophet sent about 70 men, who knew the Quran by heart, towards the Pagans, of Najd, who were less than they in number, and there was a peace treaty between them and Allah's apostles, but the pagans broke the treaty and killed the 70 men. So Allah's apostle recited Qunut for a period of 1 month, asking Allah to punish them. Narrated Anas bin Malik, the Prophet recited Qunut for 1 month, in the Fajr prayer, asking Allah to punish the tribes of Ral and Dakwan. Narrated Anas, the Qunut used to be recited in the Maghrib in the Fajr prayers,